Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, April 2nd, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am evolving. Simple, easy, although only so much in theory, really not as easy in practice as we are seeing. So today we have the moon shifting from Cancer to Leo. Lots of inner child stuff to address. The other thing that I think we're really going to be feeling, and I think this is important, especially in the larger scheme of things, we have Venus at the final degree of Taurus. Venus will be moving into Gemini tomorrow on Friday. So with Venus at this final degree of Taurus, we really do want to grasp the Venus lessons. So the Venus lessons of inner harmony, peace, the energy of pleasure, engaging and allowing pleasure, even times of turbulence or evolution, worth, value, money. And I know that's a fear that's up for many with what's going on. Lots of change happening. Venus at that final degree of Taurus is like, let them eat cake. I don't mean that in an awful way, but it's like, please still make time for pleasure. And your inner child is also begging that. Please still make time for pleasures. Please still make time to do things that you value, to tune into what you value. I know there's a lot of changes, but some of these changes are really important and really good. So can you tune in to the good that's still happening? The other thing is, I really think worth consciousness is something that we want to keep in mind with Venus at this 29 degrees. 29 degrees is a healing degree. So you may want to look at how you're feeling, yin energy, how you're feeling about money, how you're feeling about prosperity, how you're feeling about things having value at this time. And just hold some light for that energy. They always say at the end of every scope, there's more than enough love in the world for you. Really holding space for the energy of abundance, the energy of prosperity that does exist very, very, very much so, very abundantly. Abundance is very abundant on this planet, even though sometimes we're shown otherwise. So holding that space will be very, very, very important. Also, just keep checking in with your worth and inner child stuff. So intertwined today. So I want to mention we are in our second revolution evolution of Sun in Aries. So these kind of days push us. They push us through our evolution. And I got to show you at the top of my cards, I do have the Thunderbolt. So there may be some meltdown moments. I actually have it right next to the Innocence card, which is the Sun card, which can represent the inner child. So let's go there. We have the moon finishing up in Cancer. And the moon finishing up in Cancer is making several of those tough oppositions, stretchy energy with the Capricorn energy. We have Jupiter, Pluto in Capricorn. So we're feeling that stretch. We actually have Lilith making it a T-square actually in Aries. Hanging out with Eris. Lilith and Eris are like hanging out together, squaring the moon, the moon in Cancer, and that Pluto-Jupiter palace conjunction that we've got going on. The yin is very present in all of these changes. Oh my goodness, this energy. So the moon versus the moon stretching Jupiter, Pluto. Right now, we are questioning society. We are questioning, oh my goodness, how broken was this system that it could go like this? This is good. Questions are good. Jupiter and Pluto remind you, be empowered in your choices. Be empowered with your responsibility, how you are showing up. And Lilith and Eris over here, bringing that T-square, are like, please maintain your one unto yourself. Please maintain that integrity to your soul. Please maintain choices that really honor who you are, rather than honoring the crumbling rules that have been. So just keep that in mind. And that may it might feel a little uncomfortable inside. The moon Cancer does not necessarily like having to show up in that way, and yet it's time. It's time to step into that fierce mama energy that we all, on the spectrum, no matter where, we all have that fierce mama within us when we want to protect something. Mama bear energy. Bear. I was talking to somebody yesterday, a client, and Bear came through. So here's Bear again. Bear energy is up. We then have the lunar shift. 11:26 a.m. Pacific time. Moon moves into Leo and is making several oppositions with the Aquarius energy. Okay, so Moon in Leo, inner child, and this is one of the things I wanted to mention. With the Leo energy, kids right now are struggling with this, but I really feel like even more so, parents are really struggling because parents have been thrust into multiple roles and have to maintain a very interesting balance. And I'm really feeling this in these cards. I've heard from so many of my parent friends about how much they are struggling. And so if you are in this place, you need to make time for your inner child, even as you make time for your children, even as, even as you're trying to fulfill your duties as adults as well. Hold space for this. Dancing in the rain. It was not the one I was going to show you, but very necessary. Hold space for the innocence. Dance in the rain. Like, through these challenges, where can you bring forth your playfulness? Where do you need to take some time and put yourself into child's pose or put yourself into timeout just to have a minute to breathe? So pay attention to this with this moon moving through Leo. Otherwise, I do feel like during this time, you may end up feeling outbursty, So how do you show up for your needs? And as you show up for your needs, you will be teaching your children to show up for their needs. This also goes for those who are still working in all of this and working very hard at keeping things. Making time for pleasure, making time for your inner child, making time to make sure that your needs are met, making time to make sure your health is being addressed. All very important in this. So, Moon in Leo, opposite Saturn and Mars, newly in Aquarius. Do all things with love is what pops into my mind. But this stretch is that, sometimes that Leo energy can get caught up in love for the self, and that's good. It's important. Like I said, Leo, inner child energy. But right now we are rebuilding on a community level as well. And so it's like, where can you bring that creativity, that fun, that presence, any of that to your community? Where can you bring your offerings? First, take care of yourself and then bring it to the community. There's a balance in that, and I feel like that's where that stretch is in this, is figuring out what that balance is in all of this. The Uranus T-square in this, just so many T-squares. The Uranus T-square in this is that the changes are ongoing, and where we're at right now is going to continue to unfold and change. I am the evolution. You are the evolution. We are in major evolution, revolution at this time. My feeling with this is really knowing your worth through this. I think that's a really important thing, part of that Uranus energy in Taurus. It's changing. I really feel that in myself. I'm like, before I felt really good about my prices. Now I'm like, how much do I charge for a reading right now? I'm not really sure what to do. Oh, look, my Taurus came to lend support. She says hi. Little Luce. Anyway. Yeah, the worth thing, it's in the money thing, the whole money system, it's in a cycle of change. So hold space for that, even as you hold space for your worth and for your offerings in and through this. I know it almost feels like a very specific message for a certain group of people. Lilith and Eris. My feeling with those two conjunct at this point, the yin is not going back to sleep. The yin had been quiet, like underground, building strength for so long. Lilith conjunct Eris. He was coming by to say hi. Lilith conjunct Eris. Go your own way. Listen to yourself. But if you find yourself back in those old patterns, Eris, goddess of discord, will make it known that you are causing discord within, and there needs to be changes made. So if you're feeling discordant within yourself, check in with your yin. Know the worth of your yin. This is very important in and through this. Finally, last card to show you, the adventure card. This is how we have to treat what is going on right now. It is an adventure into the unknown. It's not okay, and yet it is okay. There's a lot of not okay in this, and yet there's this plan that's unfolding, and you just have to keep reminding yourself of that, remembering yourself, and asking your deeper parts, your intuition, your higher self, how am I to be moving through this? So with that, you can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you, and you do have the power. Namaste.